this is no way to run a railroad. It's just no way to run a railroad. And, that's all pretty depressing, and it's tearing the country apart. And you see all the bad social things that are happening in, Minneapolis, everywhere. And, it all just comes back down to the money being broken, which again is why I wrote the book. I wish the country understood that, and I think most Bitcoiners understand it, that it's the base layer that's broken, and it's not unsolvable, folks. I mean, if we go back to a sound base layer, we've got all this great technology, and if we don't get into a world war and we don't all kill each other, everything will reorganize. Now, there will be winners and losers. People who hold debt will get wiped out, and there'll be a lot of inflation in the transition. But things will be good again. I mean, we are all productive actors who will, with the right incentives, do the right things and make the world a much better place. And so, all I'm waiting for is to get through this fourth turning and return to that sound money. The problem is that, it's probably going to take crisis or semi-crisis conditions to get us there, because, the average bubis Americanus, and certainly all the politicians, aren't going to take us there on their own. Although one interesting possibility, and I've talked about this on other pods, is that Trump and or Bissett, do something really, really bold, which is to try and do a monetary reset. And I don't know if they have the political space. I don't know if they have the guts, but, we could theoretically skip the, let's go to super high inflation, the country tears itself apart and currency fails, by, Bissett waking up one morning and Trump saying, we're going to revalue gold at $30,000. We're going to revalue Bitcoin at $1 million a coin. And, government will now exchange your dollars for either of those two things. Bring us $1 million, we'll give you a Bitcoin. Bring us your ounce of gold, we'll give you 25,000. Or, give us 25,000, we'll give you an ounce of gold. And we are now on a sound money standard, period. And, 1971, gone, done. Oh, and by the way, we're going to balance the budget by, basically cutting expenses here and there. And we, the TGA would be revalued, and that markup of the TGA would be used to pay down the government debt.